Hey guys, welcome to Two Mics. Yay.
Yay.
Okay,
Sorry.
you could have said yay that. Okay, hey guys, welcome to Two Mics. Yeah. This is a new year, new things. Hi. Yeah, I'm your host, Mr. Kevin Kabingu.
Host.
Yeah,
okay.
host. Yeah.
Host, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know I say it like that. Yeah, today I'm hosting. Yeah, so Moretti was not around for this episode. Today's episode will be focusing on the recent stuff that's been happening with social media, especially WhatsApp. All of a sudden, all your friends are moving to Signal, Telegram, and you don't understand what's going on. Privacy policy, for who? I clicked, I didn't read. So you maybe don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe finally you got wind of something happened, you clicked on it, and now you're regretting it and you want to understand further. What's all this hula baloo or everything that's happened?
Yeah.
So
karibuni
so
sana.
That's our that's our
Is this the part I say my name?
Let's start the episode before Charles forgets anything else.
Yeah, looking forward to this. This is like one of those podcasts that has been here because of demand, right?
Yes.
We really get this. Like, we are the ones who demand people to listen. This is
the first time people asked.
But it's not bad. At least, we didn't have to get to our 50th podcast for that, so that someone can ask something.
Yeah.
This is like our fourth,
No, this is the 9th.
This is the 9th?
Yes.
Okay, we are doing badly. Not so badly, but badly. But not, okay, we are not doing so badly.
Yeah. Today's topic, like you heard in the intro, we're going to talk about a little bit about what's been going on, especially on social media, kind of related to WhatsApp and what we've seen. Guys have been migrating and we are confused. Most of us don't know. Okay, we had there's a privacy policy. We always click on these things without understanding what exactly is happening. So today, the reason why we brought Charles was because Charles, most of you don't know, he's is it a networking expert or a data set? I don't know.
Wait,
I've never exactly known what you do.
I sit behind a computer most of the time of the day. So I'm an IT guy. Or a computer guy.
Yeah. So Charles from IT is here.
Yeah, Charles from that's good, yeah.
Charles from IT. And I think the whole episode probably won't be a very long one, but it's kind of us thinking about that. For me personally, like I'm not a techie. I don't know much about all that stuff about privacy, what's privacy, what's security. Most of these things I don't know, and so most of the times I usually defer to Charles when I have a lot of these questions. And maybe as we start, the first question I might ask Charles is maybe to expound a bit about what this new policy from WhatsApp that people are going crazy, going haywire about. What is it really about?
Okay, thanks for the introduction. So actually, I also got a few questions on that. It all started this week when I posted about random numbers. I on one night I got 14 new notifications, which is something I don't like on Signal, that people have joined Signal in one day. And in just 5 days, 80 or I think almost 100 people have joined Signal. And you've said also you experienced the same thing. The first time I joined Signal, there were about 10 people. Right now, almost everyone in my contacts is on Signal. So, and then I posted just 14 people joined Signal. That was on my WhatsApp status. Irony. So 14 people have joined WhatsApp, Signal, yeah. And then 80 people have joined in the last 5 days. And guys were like, "Oh, we are joining Signal also." Or other guys were, "What's the big deal? Should I really change?"
So you're those people. We've been new. We were on Signal already.
Don't say when I joined Signal, but I didn't also join Signal a long time ago, actually.
You joined after Elon Musk said Signal.
Yeah. So the thing is, I know guys who've been using Signal for a long time, and I also didn't think it was a really serious thing, but I know guys who do serious work who use Signal. So it's pretty much a very secure, not secure, but private. Like it respects your privacy in a different way from the way WhatsApp does. And I think also the first thing we can talk about is the difference between privacy and security.
Yeah.
Right?
And before we get to that,
there's a question you asked me.
Yeah, the question about what's the policy?
So the new policy is WhatsApp basically saying we'll kick you out by February 8th if you don't.
Did they say they'll kick people out? I never read that thing. I just accepted.
It's going to be a bit difficult, especially their messages. I think they'll start. I'm not very sure about that, but the little I've read about it is some of your data will start expiring, I think. I don't know if you'll still be able to use WhatsApp. I can't say that you'll be locked out. I'm not so sure about it.
They said they won't lock people out. I think because they've recently pushed it to March.
Yeah, last night yesterday they extended the deadline by 3 months.
Yeah.
Inika huduma number. Anyway, but
yeah, so it's like the big reason they were stating was that there was a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe in the article that I read, they didn't really clarify what exactly the miscommunication or misinformation was. But so the thing you guys you guys are scared of is it sharing the info on Facebook? Is it across all Facebook owned apps, or it's just Facebook?
So okay, let me gather myself a little bit here. So Facebook as a company is no longer just Facebook. Facebook has owns Instagram right now, and also owns WhatsApp. People know this, although it's not the first thing that jumps into people's mind when they hear WhatsApp. Previously, when you are on WhatsApp, even me for the longest time, or I think a few people, when they use WhatsApp, it does not hit them at the back of their minds that I'm actually using a Facebook product. That realization is quite a bit. It's more clearer, or it's more evident when you're using Instagram. Maybe because Facebook has said it out loud that we are powered by Facebook. They do so on WhatsApp, but it's not very, very clear. So a lot of people don't, consciously remember that I'm using a WhatsApp product and a Facebook product. And I think Marx, the owner of Facebook, his long-term view of this is all these products that are owned by Facebook, we want to bring them under one roof.
One banner.
One banner or one roof. Facebook. So we want the way we monetize things on Facebook, on Instagram, on WhatsApp to be almost the same or even more efficient and better. The way businesses operate on Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram to be more, what's the word? To bring them, to make it almost like one thing. And so that view is what also it's one of the things that the latest privacy, the latest update, policy updates, focuses on that. I think one of the things that stands out is the ability for businesses on Facebook to be able to communicate with WhatsApp. And the idea is basically if you are on Facebook and you have a business there, someone can send you a message and you can get it on WhatsApp. Almost this, I think that happens. Does it happen on Instagram? I'm not on Facebook, so I don't know if that happens on cross-platform. Although I know when you're on Instagram, you can post things to appear on Facebook.
Yeah.
And this is now for the business. What Facebook is looking at in the near future is that businesses will be synced so that you can run a business on Facebook and still be able to interact with customers on WhatsApp. So you can just do your things. That's one of the things, and it's not like some people. It's not a huge thing. It's a small thing. But before I continue, let's also talk about the difference between security and privacy. I think it's good also for guys to remember that when it comes to security, it's about securing your data. How your data is prevented from, how it's secured from unauthorized access. There's still end-to-end encryption. Your chats with people are going to
no
be
one
still.
Else can see what you and someone else are.
Nobody's going to snoop on your chats. group chats, individual chats. Some people still think that's debatable. People still think Facebook does that behind the scenes, but I think so far so good. Facebook says, and I think they also tell you that your conversations are end-to-end encrypted. So that's different from privacy, and privacy is basically you as an individual. What can Facebook know about you? How? What's the word? So
like,
when it comes to
my
privacy, it's not
preferences?
what are your preferences, what do you like?
Yeah, my personal info, like, is it phone numbers, where I live, my address, if it's my bank info, like sensitive personal information.
So privacy is more safeguarding your identity as a user. So who am I? What do I do? In most privacy violations, what would happen is that you have a user ID, and that user ID is tied to your activities or things that you do online. So you basically, it's this week that we saw that story of the shopper on Target who visited the Target store.
No, the story was...
You can just go ahead.
Yeah, the story was, there's this young lady. She was a teen. She had gotten pregnant, and based on the info of staff or how in Target, the company, how her online purchasing or looking up stuff that she was doing, they were able to infer that she was pregnant and started sending coupons about offers on baby stuff to her home. And the dad was angry about this, but eventually they realized that their daughter was pregnant. I think Target had known this even before the daughter, I think.
Okay, so what would happen in such a scenario is Target knows that. So when the daughter is looking for baby stuff, because the daughter already
I don't
knows.
think even she was like looking for specifically baby stuff. I think the algorithm was able to, like, they know the type of stuff, like, you know, those cravings and stuff you have when, like, you're pregnant. Okay. Like the stuff you're buying or looking at. It's like the algorithm has a way of knowing.
It knows like this when women are pregnant, these are the things they look for.
And they said it's so good that it's able to know even how long you're due.
Yeah, they could tell that you are 6 months due.
6 months. It could tell. So
So in such a scenario, privacy in that scenario, how it would look like is she has probably an ID on Target's database, and then they can track what this person does, the things she looks for, and then they have such a certain metric that says, let me use this phrase very loosely, like there's a pregnancy score, something like that, like expectant women on Target, these are the things they look for. And you know, if it was a different story, like men who play soccer, these are the things they look for. That would be soccer shoes, Ronaldo's attire, jerseys, and things like that. And so they would give you more of those things to make your experience easier or better, or just give you a variety of options. So they were able to know this lady is pregnant because of the things they search, and based on a certain, let's use the word score. She was able, they can tell that she is pregnant, and at 2 months pregnant, this is what women at 2 months pregnancy look for. At 7 months pregnancy, this is what they look for. And now that ID, they're able to associate it to with her dad, so that as they suggest things to her, they're able to tell this is a very close relative to this lady. So it will also make sense to send her suggestions on things they would also want for their daughter who is pregnant. That's what you'd expect, like, that's what you do in baby showers. You have a friend who's pregnant, so you buy them gifts relevant to that situation.
You can imagine that it might get to a point where you just have to check up on what your friends really like. If you want to get them gifts, you just ask the algorithm. Charles.
Although you might not really get the word Charles, but there's a profile, there's a user profile, like some certain bits of characters.
So I think so essentially it's like for people who have businesses, this is good news.
For the people with businesses, this is good news because
more people will see your business.
Yes, more. Before we go that, we were talking about privacy and security. So we have established that your communication is secure. And for privacy, that's where now the things become a bit tricky.
It's a gray area.
It's a gray area, yeah. So for security, your info is not leaking. They're not like leaking information and snooping on your text and all those things. Like whatever they might know. I've seen a meme that says, "My dad says you're stealing our data." And that Facebook, like Mark is saying, that's not really your dad. Well, probably they can know that. So yeah, so there's that distinction between privacy and security. But for businesses, this is good news because they can be able to tell right across platforms. I think from Facebook to WhatsApp, they can now start seeing people who like the reason why people.
It's a market of people you initially were not able to tap into.
The reason why people loved WhatsApp or still love WhatsApp is, there are no ads. There aren't these so many things like on Instagram. It's sort of like apart from the status updates, people advertising their businesses and all those things. It's not really like you're not really being pressed to.
It's not. It hasn't gotten so corporate. It still has that sense of old school social media where it was just you and your friends doing stuff before businesses came in. Yeah,
but my thinking now is that if like Facebook businesses are able to send messages, like if a buyer is able to communicate to you from Facebook to WhatsApp, and it's a business and you have a business account on WhatsApp, if you are someone running a shop, you might get more customers. If you are someone who's probably on WhatsApp and you're not on Facebook like me, right now I think I'd be worried a bit about how my like this if I'm communicating with a Facebook business, that they would be able to Facebook is going to be able to know these things are like we talked about an end-to-end encryption, but this is a business and these are the customers associated with that business. And so just it's part of a broader range of data from Facebook to WhatsApp, and that's where it might seem as if my privacy is not being taken so seriously by these guys, so it might put someone in a little bit of a concern.
So I think that's the tricky part, because they say your stuff is secure. Like you said, security is good, privacy good.
Privacy is not so.
Privacy is so. There is something that's being shared. That's the thing. Yes. People don't know what.
There is more data being collected
there's
about
something
you.
Being shared.
Yeah, there is more data being collected. That at the end of the day, your business, like this business, let's say there's a business that has an account on WhatsApp and in Facebook, like the amount of data that they can use to make. Like for businesses to be able to make
it's like they're building your profile.
Yeah, the ability to build a profile about certain people and their preferences, it just expands that because they have more data now. Previously, if you are on WhatsApp and you're not on Facebook, you can't have a peace of mind that this thing is not going on. Like they're not using your data, your preferences and your likes, like your identity is not being matched up to something for the sake of some business or for the sake of marketing or something like that. That's now where it looks a bit tricky for
so people. If, like you said you're not on Facebook. If I'm not on Facebook and I'm not on Instagram, should I be worried?
If you're not on Facebook and you're not on Instagram, right now it might not be a lot of worry. However, if you think about it, you remember we talked about all these three being part of Facebook right now. Facebook is no longer just Facebook. Instagram and WhatsApp are part of it. So I don't think this is going to be the end for Facebook. For a company that has a bad reputation for respecting people's privacy, this can mean so much. In the future, you really don't know how WhatsApp is going to look like. Whether it's still going to be very much an individual account, because I think Mark's idea is to monetize all these platforms in the long run, to milk it like as much as possible. So I don't know if Facebook is still going to be completely, like WhatsApp is going to be completely out of the mix when it comes to monetizing all these platforms. So right now it might not seem like a big deal, but it's still part of this Facebook family, and people have to make money.
Yeah, I think I see. I hadn't seen it like that before, but I get that that point, because like they said, one major problem, like what's happening in the US right now, is the way the Facebook algorithm starts building like a profile on someone. It might not be, it's not necessarily a business. I can say for business, we might say maybe in that case, it kind of makes sense. But when it comes to stuff like the way you're saying, if I'm only into, let's say, left-wing politics or right-wing politics, it only shares with me like stuff that reinforces things I believe in. And it kind of creates bubbles where individuals just like you find the same kind of people, you discuss the same kind of things, and probably believe that everyone thinks the way you guys think. Yeah, or maybe that's a worst case scenario, but I can see how data collected on someone can lead to like stuff we are seeing right now. Even like you had mentioned earlier when you were talking off the podcast about things like Cambridge Analytica, for like that was used. Any information that they collect, as harmless as they may say it could be, at some point it could be weaponized. We just don't know how. Maybe we don't have the foresight at the moment, but maybe at some point in future you'll say, oh, maybe they should have been stopped at that time when it was still young.
Yeah. So to speak to that, first of all, let's remember they're not reading. Like I hope our listeners understand, they're not reading your chats. That's the first thing. But it's true they're able to build a profile based on what your preferences on all these social media preferences. And while they were distinct previously, in the future we expect them to be one, so that as they build your profile on Facebook, that profile will also have data borrowed from Instagram or WhatsApp. And as you said, it prevents another social disaster about to happen, or is already happening. Yeah, where like people will just be aligned to, if you have one preference, that's just the way it's going to be for you, until you consciously make a decision, I want to go this other way. Yeah. So there's that danger. Although I don't think that's like really affected right now.
Again, this is just speculation. We don't know.
This is on the broader picture of, we don't know. That machine learning and algorithm part that they have, or they are all constantly working on, that is able to build a profile on someone. So, but I can't really link that to the latest privacy policy, the latest policy, WhatsApp policy. But it's good to know that the bigger picture about it is that WhatsApp is just one of the applications owned by Facebook, and we expect that in the long run they'll be part of. They'll just be one, and
so it's essentially the same way we have no problem when our Apple Music is shared with the iTunes and all the other Apple stuff. We never complain about that. We should see these apps like that.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. Sabu, that's how it's going to be. Right now, they may look different, but
it's one umbrella.
Yeah, it's one umbrella, and the aim is to bring them under one roof, as we've been saying, to bring them under one roof and to make them to be as similar or as the same as possible. Might be look differently, and the user experience might be different in terms of the feel, the interface, and all those things. But the aim is to make them to be one in terms of owned by Facebook. This is the way Facebook monetizes things. If you don't like it, ship out.
Yeah. So it's take it as you will. For those who feel that,
for some people this is not a huge deal.
Yeah.
And you can understand. Like right now, it's not a huge deal. You might agree to the terms and conditions because they don't look dangerous, and they definitely don't look dangerous. But if you are consciously or proactively, if you proactively want to like be in control of your privacy, this is just one of those things. Like it's just one step in 1,000 that should be at the back of your mind. That every time I'm agreeing to these terms and conditions, I'm just moving closer and closer and closer and
There's
closer
something of
to
mine
that.
I'm giving away.
Yeah, I'm just giving it away slowly by slowly until, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, who knows what we'll have given away. And I think even the other thing about it is, even if this might sound a bit far, this might seem a bit stretched, is, like when it comes to people's preferences, ideological wise, people get into trouble nowadays for disagreeing in certain ways. So yeah, you never know this data that's being collected about you, how it's going to be one day used.
Yeah, it's going to be like that Twitter page. You said this in 20.
Yeah, you say this in what? Yeah.
Yeah, but still, this is just again, listeners, it's just speculation.
This is okay. This recent 5 minutes was like speculation.
Yeah, we don't know.
But it should concern people. Yeah, for those people who just say, I don't care, or even if you care, but this does not mean much. You should think about it in a broader context than just this looks like a small thing. So yes, in the future, they look like many small things that you'll be saying yes to, but it's might come back to haunt you. You never know.
Yeah.
Someone also said that if you have nothing to hide, just click yes. There are people who are saying that privacy is dead. To some extent, privacy is dead. If Facebook is not collecting your data, Google is. If Google is not, Amazon is. Yeah, I do see that.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I do see that. But just because that happens, does not mean that
you should just
lie
down and
click yes,
give up.
Especially if you have an alternative. And also remember, we are encouraging these companies to be the big companies, that monolithic companies, that will define how we interact, behave, think.
At some point, they'll be too powerful for us to control.
Yeah. But that also doesn't seem like much of a concern for the ordinary guy.
Yeah. Unless
ordinary guy means also you and I.
Yes. Yeah. So as you're talking about this, the move was, like you mentioned earlier, is looking at alternatives. Like you said, a lot of your friends are signing up to Signal. Some were signing up to Telegram, I think. So are these alternatives better? Is it something you can definitively say is better than what I'm getting from WhatsApp?
Yeah, that's tricky. Because if you're a business person, this WhatsApp thing is really good, and Facebook thing, because it refines your customer base so that you'll be able to maybe do more targeted ads, or it will be easier for customers to find you and things like that. But if you are worried about privacy, it's just good that you have one of these apps as an alternative, and it's good that they exist. So far, there's Telegram and Signal. Signal being Team Elon Musk. So yeah, he said he's Signal, and yes, on Signal.
Even Snowden says he uses Signal every day.
Did Jack Dorsey also say we use Signal?
Yeah, Dorsey also said.
Yeah. And then I know for those two, even there's a hacker called Kevin Mitnick who's also a proponent of Signal. And I know even friends who are in the security field who use Signal, because it's been tested. It's also end-to-end encrypted. Looks more or less like Facebook. It looks a lot like Facebook, and also has borrowed some features from Telegram. But it's an open source platform that's non-profit. It was co-founded by one of the founders of WhatsApp, and they guarantee you your privacy. I know that because it's been tested by guys, and so it has passed those tests. As for Telegram, I can't say a lot about it because people have had a few issues with it, although it's better than WhatsApp, to be honest. I just know that of all those three applications, Signal and Telegram are the ones that collect the least. Signal and Telegram are the ones that collect the least or no information about you. And so they are a safe bet. It's good to have them as an alternative. Personally, I would also say, just to run away from social media sometimes. Those are apps you can use, especially Signal. Yeah.
Yeah, so a Signal for maybe for me as a layman, what I'm understanding is because it doesn't have it's an open source platform, doesn't have like those people like you said, like Mark wants to like monetize everything from Instagram, WhatsApp, Facebook. At the end of the day, his goal is profit.
Yes.
So for Signal, it being an open source and no one not having that big guy behind looking for the profit, it's a safer bet.
For what?
Like if I want to use a platform that I know that it won't be sharing my info, you rather gamble with Signal than WhatsApp.
Yes. Not just gamble, but Signal is a safe bet. It's been let me just. There's a photo that's been going around comparing WhatsApp to Telegram to Signal. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
But one of the things about WhatsApp is that there isn't group chat security. I also just learned that on Signal, when you invite someone to a group, they're not just added to the group. They are sent a link so that they'll only join when they accept. Do they have self-destructing messages on WhatsApp? Nowadays, you can have that information, that setting that you can turn off. Your messages can disappear after some time. Huh?
I don't know. I've never used it.
Actually, there is. Yeah. But remind me of the question.
It was mostly more in the line of the differences. Or Signal being an open source.
Yeah.
Is it a safer bet than WhatsApp, which has a backing of people who want to make profit at the end of the day?
I would say just use Signal is better. Their end-to-end encryption would be much more trustworthy than Facebook, than WhatsApp. Yeah. If I say Facebook now, I think WhatsApp is included.
Yeah.
But their end-to-end can be more trusted.
You wanted to share something about the photo, the differences.
It's just the photo. They've given a summary of how secure those platforms are. Mm-hmm. I think for Telegram, the only thing that you are not guaranteed of your safety is on group chat security. And I think it's one of the things about it is that anyone joins anything at any time. I think that happens
because you when you search for a group on Telegram, you can just go into the group, and it gives you an option to join at the bottom. If you want to join, I don't think there's any admin approval or something.
Yeah.
So
that doesn't happen also on WhatsApp. Like that's scary. That's scary. Like if I haven't used that feature, but I imagine it can be scary.
The big problem I saw this week on WhatsApp was the way you create group links.
Yeah.
If those group links,
you can search for them on.
Yeah, you can search for them on Index.
Yeah, I haven't sat down to check that out. I've also seen a couple of people talking about it.
Yeah.
That you can Google WhatsApp groups and
Index.
Yeah, it's called Google Docs. Like you can. There's a way you can search Google.
Yeah.
To give you some things. Yeah. To give you some things that you should not be seeing. Yeah.
So it's easy to get those group links for WhatsApp. Yeah.
Something that may never happen with Signal. So it's a good alternative. People should have it.
So at the end of the day, is just
have it.
The preference is yours. If you feel you have no problem, share, like knowing that there's something of yours that's been taken.
Yeah.
You can still stay on WhatsApp.
You can still stay on WhatsApp. I mean, I am conscious about privacy. For me, it's something serious, and I wish everyone took it seriously. But the truth is, for some people, like conversations I've had, guys are saying, "I've been on Facebook for the last 10 years. What difference will it make?" Or I've been on WhatsApp or Instagram for these years. What difference will it make? And I don't know. You can delete your messages and just decide to check. But even if you don't do it, you can still make the switch. You don't want to stay there for the next another 10 years and then later say that, this thing is not good. I should have checked. What? Yeah, so just have that alternative now. The earlier the better, and you can slowly make the shift. We should make the shift.
So what do you say to the people who go privacy is dead?
For the people who say privacy is dead, to be honest, to some extent they could be
right.
It's a very loose statement. I don't want to say they are right, because it's everyone's got individual responsibility. So the more we click to those terms and conditions, just say yes, the more we encourage that kind of mindset. The funny thing about that is a lot of people, even security experts, who say that they will not encourage that in their own companies. If you're sharing information, they would say share your private information, but don't share our company's information, because even though privacy is dead, our privacy is not dead. Who's that? Who says that? Is it Malema or something?
I don't know. But
there's something he argues that way.
Yeah. I don't remember but yeah, I know what you're saying. I've heard it.
There's an argument he makes that way that is it we are not racist, you're racist or something?
I don't remember.
Anyway, but just like some people who say privacy is dead, they would not be happy if you shared some of their data in public. The more we click on those things, the more we say yes to these things. It's a collective responsibility, and I think that mindset is what makes these people continue doing what they are doing. People like Facebook, because they know people have stopped caring. So
they've stopped caring, they've lied down and taken it, and there are no alternatives.
Yeah. So and the alternatives, and I've also seen that meme that says it's a meme that says someone left WhatsApp to go Signal because of privacy, and then they came back and they said there was a lot of privacy there, but there were no people. It's funny, yes, but when you think about it, you really don't want people to do that, because the more we decide to live the same way, that's just how those companies are going to treat us.
It's a bad relationship.
Yeah, it's like, I wanted to give an example with EABL, but let me not
give the example of the EABL.
I'll think about it, and then I'll refine it in my mind and then give it later.
Okay, so what about the people who will say, but Charles, maybe you're being too pessimistic, because at the end of the day, you guys are the same guys who are telling us about Internet of Things, when all our information is connected like that. If my fridge has my info, it knows there's no milk in the fridge. It can talk to my Amazon cart or whatever cart and gets my milk delivered to my house without me even caring about. Like, it knows everything I need, making my life even simpler.
Yes, that's true.
So it's just you.
At the end of the day, as much as people should respect their privacy, their individual privacy, and expect companies to also respect their privacy, the truth is, yes, people's lives are being improved by technology, and data plays a crucial role. So the more perhaps these companies are able to tap into your life, the easier they can make it to be. I think the line has to be drawn on what now the companies can do with that data. Because if you remember, in 2015, 2016, Cambridge Analytica, US elections, Brexit, the Kenyan elections, data was given to a third party from Facebook. They matched people's profiles and things like that, ended up creating information on Facebook mostly. And then from there, it influenced the way people thought about certain people they were going to vote for, or certain decisions they were going to make, and decisions were swayed in a certain way. And that is where now things become tricky. Yeah, is it a catch-22 situation? It's a difficult situation to be in, where you can tell Amazon, I want you to know if there's milk in my fridge. And because the algorithm is able to know much more than that, you can't prevent it from doing that. It ends up knowing other things about you, and then that information is used against you or in a way that harms you. So that is now the tricky part. So it's just asking people to be more concerned. Even if you're going to click, just know what you are signing up to. Make that decision consciously. And if you are seeing that thing is not what you like, or those terms and conditions are not what you like, raise that concern. Let it be addressed. Because if you say privacy is dead,
you're part of the problem.
Yeah, yes, sort of. But it might come to be a pain to you as well in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it's not for you, for your kids.
Even if not for you, for other people.
Yeah.
And just be careful.
Yeah. So be optimistic, but cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, be optimistic. I mean, even me, there are things that, like I told you how I was shopping for an office seat, and it gave me so many suggestions. You're
getting suggestions everywhere.
Yeah, I'm getting suggestions everywhere. I liked it at first. The only part I didn't like is that after I bought it, I'm still getting those ads. Yeah,
that's what I don't like.
And I'm like, where do I turn this off?
Yeah, there are times you actually buy the thing, but it continues giving you the same ads. Yeah. It's like you should have that feature where it realizes I already bought it.
Yeah. But you know, that's the very, very small way in which it affects you. So, yeah, you can imagine there could be so many other ways this thing can be harmful. And we just gave that example of elections and Cambridge Analytica and things like that.
It's just information is power, like they say. It can be used in any way, for good or for bad.
Yeah.
So I think that's it.
That's it. So are we moving to Signal? At least our group is the first group to move to Signal.
Oh yeah, our little group for 2.mics moved to Signal, but one person did not. I won't say who it is. Proudly said no. The exact words were, "Bite me."
Yeah,
that's what they said. Yeah, so great. I think we'll end it there, Charles. Thanks for coming in today, giving me a bit, and all our listeners, a bit of info or a bit of background on what's really going on with all the privacy stuff. I think I was informed. I hope you guys who are listening were also informed. And I
just wanted to say thank you as well. This podcast was very impromptu, so thanks for the chance. And if people have any comments, this is like, people could be knowing much more than what we've talked about, so
they can find you on Signal.
They can find me on Signal, or
they can find you. There's no security.
Moving on swiftly. Anyway, but so I think this conversation we can definitely have another one depending on what people say.
So if people have questions or critiques or something they wanted to tell you, where can they find you?
I have. Do I reserve the reservations to ignore?
Yeah, you can ignore
anyway, but they can. Do you have an email address or something?
Yeah.
I think the email address will be shared at the podcast.
I'll share it on there. It's a long one, so I'll just share it so people can copy it.
It's not like 2.mics?
It's thetwomics at gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should do something, like we should get a real good, like a very good email address.
I'll have to, but I think we haven't grown to a point where we've had enough fans to start asking questions or bashing us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So be kind in your replies.
Yeah. So you can.
But also, we'd like to hear what you think.
Yeah. So thanks for coming, Charles. Thanks for giving us your time and listening. And have a nice rest of the week.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's find you on Signal or something.
Privacy.
Bye-bye.
Yay, bye.
Bye.